Pentagon in shock. The Houthi military power impact that surprises the Pentagon. The Pentagon is alarmed by the surprising military arsenal of the Houthi group in Yemen. According to Bill LaPlante, under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment, this group's recent technological advances are shocking. It is reported that the Houthis possess ballistic and cruise missiles with advanced accuracy, which poses a direct threat to ships and bases in the Red Sea. Analysts point out that this rapid technological development could be the result of significant external support, mainly from Iran and possibly from Russia. This military strengthening of the Houthis worries the United States not only because of its impact on the region, but also because of its influence on the domestic political narrative. In particular, the issue could be used to justify an increase in the defense budget under a possible Donald Trump administration, who has historically promoted greater investments in the military sector, benefiting contractors like Lockheed Martin and General Dynamics. Furthermore, the Houthis have not only strengthened their arsenal, but have also demonstrated their operational capability by using hypersonic missiles against Israeli targets. This escalation of weapons power reflects the impact of collaboration with Iran, which continues to provide advanced technology to balance power in the Middle East. On the other hand, the conflict between Israel and its neighbors continues to intensify. According to reports, recent Israeli attacks have targeted nuclear facilities in Iran, although Iranian air defenses have repelled several of these attempts. This context is also linked to the strengthening of the Houthis, as their operations demonstrate the growing influence of Iranian-backed forces in the region. In the political sphere, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing a corruption trial that could further destabilize Israel, already polarized by its handling of the conflict in Gaza and Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israeli political figures have criticized their government's actions, calling them genocide and pointing out that they perpetuate a cycle of violence in the region. Finally, tensions continue in Lebanon, where the Hezbollah group has carried out daily attacks against Israeli targets, achieving significant impacts on infrastructure and military personnel. These actions have generated severe reactions from Israel, which has intensified its bombings in Gaza, Lebanon and Syria, leading to an increase in casualties and destruction throughout the region. In conclusion, the situation in the Middle East reflects a complex network of alliances, strategic interests and political challenges that not only affect the countries involved, but also the global powers that intervene in the conflict. This panorama underlines the importance of observing how the relationship between Iran, its allies in the region, and the West's strategies against this growing threat evolves. The Pentagon is surprised and concerned by the technological level reached by the Houthi group's military arsenal in Yemen. This group, backed by Iran, has shown impressive weapons growth, becoming a key player in the geopolitical dynamics of the Middle East. Bill LaPlante, Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment, called the Houthi arsenal astonishing and highlighted the significant advances they have made in recent months. According to recent reports, the group has high-precision ballistic and cruise missiles, as well as hypersonic missiles, that could change the balance of power in the region. These capabilities pose a direct threat to maritime traffic in the Red Sea, a key route for global trade. Experts suggest that this progress would not be possible without strong external support. Iran, the Houthis' main ally, not only provides weapons, but also advanced technology and strategic training. Some analysts believe that Russia could be contributing to this effort, which increases tensions between the powers involved. This arsenal not only jeopardizes regional security, but also has implications for the strategic interests of the United States, whose military presence in the Middle East is increasingly questioned. Meanwhile, in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces a critical moment in his political career. Cornered by a corruption trial, Netanyahu must appear in court on December 2nd. The accusations against him include bribery, fraud, and breach of trust in 3 different criminal cases. This situation not only endangers his leadership, but also further polarizes Israeli society, already divided by the prolonged war in Gaza and the conflicts in Lebanon. Netanyahu's opponents accuse him of prolonging the conflict for political purposes, while his supporters claim that he is the victim of a judicial persecution orchestrated by the deep state to destabilize his government. In addition, this crisis comes at a time of increasing military and social tensions. Israel faces significant challenges on multiple fronts, from Hezbollah's daily attacks on the Lebanese border to Houthi operations that threaten its operational capacity in the region. At the same time, US foreign policies could also influence these events. It is speculated that, should Donald Trump return to power, one of his first measures would be to increase the defense budget, justifying it in part by the growing threat from groups like the Houthis. This would directly benefit the US military-industrial complex, a key sector of the country's economy. Trump's support for Israel during his term was decisive, and his possible return could imply an even greater strengthening of the alliance between the two countries. Among the measures already announced would be the elimination of restrictions on the supply of weapons to Israel, an action that would likely intensify conflicts in the region. In this scenario, Israeli military actions in Gaza, Syria and Lebanon have generated strong international criticism. While Israel justifies its bombings as defensive measures, local and international reports denounce that the attacks have caused a high number of civilian casualties and massive destruction. The Lebanese resistance, led by Hezbollah, has responded forcefully, destroying Israeli military vehicles, including Merkava tanks, and launching missiles at bases and settlements in Israeli territory.